Some people don't relate to their sun sign. It's annoying. The sun is the most important and the most influential of all the indicators. So why do some people don't relate? Astrology, it's a language of symbols. Symbols are metaphors. An example, the moon has been a symbol of women since prehistoric times. Why? Because the moon and women go through monthly cycles. So women are like the moon is like women, symbolic connection is made. That's how it works. So let's look at the sky for big obvious metaphors. What is the most important thing up there? The sun. The sun is the most powerful, the most visible, the most influential of all the indicators in the sky and in the birth chart. It's the most essential of all the heavenly bodies. So how come some people don't relate to their sun sign? A way to answer this question is to look for dominant energies. The sun may be the king, but sometimes kings have powerful ministers. A planet conjunct to an angle of the chart, for instance, or very emphasized through aspects from the sun, from the moon, or from personal planets, can become so dominant that its influence eclipses that of the sun sign. Another way to become dominant for the planet is to rule over many other planets or points, like the ascendant or the nodes. If there are, for instance, 3 planets in Virgo, and the ascendant and the south node are in Gemini, just an example, then Mercury becomes very important, as Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo. So even if the sun is not in one of these 2 signs, Mercury becomes a very important planet. Another example, Venus. Let's say Venus is dominant, and even if the person is not a Taurus or a Libra, well, they will display Libra-like or Taurus-like traits, a bit of both. It will be a Venusian person in the style of whatever sign they are, a little bit, but very Venusian. But now, if Mars, Jupiter or Saturn are dominant, it's the moment to remember that these planets traditionally rule over 2 signs each. Let's take the example of Mars. Imagine Mars dominant in a chart. We can expect Aries-like traits, but also Scorpio-like traits. And when Mars is taking action boldly and energetically, that's Aries. But when Mars is waiting in ambush, resisting in the face of adversity, or thinking of a strategy, that's more like Scorpio. The sign in which Mars is placed and the overall balance of elements in the chart should give clues as to how this Mars is more likely to express. But anyway, in all cases, Mars dominant in the chart of someone with a soft sun sign like Cancer or Libra will give the person traits which are not part of the stereotypical description of Cancer or Libra. But Cancer and Libra will still be there and very important, even if not noticeable at first sight. Because stereotypes, they are just stereotypes. So the other complementary way to explain why some people don't relate to their sun sign is simply because they haven't understood what their sun sign is about. When you read standard descriptions, they describe how people are and how they behave. For instance, Virgo, they are supposed to be fussy, picky, neat and organized. A good deal of them are, but sometimes you come across a messy Virgo. So let's drop this idea of sun sign as immutable characters all cast in the same mold, as fixed in their ways as Greek marbles. No. Sometimes we come across a messy Virgo, a shy Leo, a silent Gemini, a sleeping Sagittarius even. And instead of thinking that they are not how they should be, let's ask, what is the sign about? The messy Virgo may be intellectually very sharp. Their mind may be the most organized and discriminating mind you will ever come across. If you could visit their mental world, you would realize that the description of the textbook applies, but in their heads, not in their house. It's possible that in the chart the Sun or Mercury are afflicted by challenging oppositions or squares from other planets, and this generates disturbances. So it's difficult to be Virgo for the Virgo with these squares and oppositions. So to deal with the threat of chaos, the Virgo Sun separates their own universe into two distinct boxes. In one box, okay, chaos wins. No need to invest energy in there, it's pointless. Let's be pragmatic and practical. In the other box, then it's possible to firmly establish and maintain order. Best possible use of the energy. Take some distance and you'll see that this Virgo is really a Virgo, even if the living room is a mess. With Virgo, there is a strong urge to discriminate, to analyze and to organize. But it won't be expressed exactly in the same way for every single Virgo. That's why we need understanding. And now I am not going to read you the whole blog post. If you read it, you will hear about my father, a shy Leo. And thank you for your attention. Follow the link in the description box. See you again.